Good evening.
Hello. How are you?
Great. Hungry.
You'd be wanting to know what I'm cooking then?
No, I just thought you were going to sing. Yes, what's on the menu?
I'm going to do fish pie. So, first thing you need is some milk or dairy alternative. I've got 500 millilitres in a shallow pan. And I've actually got kippers, but they're any proper kippers. I'm going to give them a wee poach. Little knob of butter that comes with them. And I've got a whole bag of king prawns, which I'm going to add once they're almost cooked. So you bring that up to the simmer, and then you start making a roux. So it's quite simple, quite easy. Right. So pretty much as soon as it just starts to boil, you want to switch it off. So these have got skin on them, so you want to get that off, really. You can't eat the skin, it's just herring. It's pretty inoffensive. I'll also put a bay leaf in here, which I'll remove. So the next thing you need to do is make a roux. So 50 grams of butter. Take it off the heat a bit. I'm going to put a wee drop of rapeseed oil in there, just to make sure it doesn't burn. Now I can put pepper in my milk. Really, if you're making a white sauce, you would use white pepper, but I'm not that bothered about how it looks, this is about how it tastes. I mean, I've even got frozen veggies that I'm just pouring into there. So when you make a roux, it's equal quantities of fat and flour.
Just any flour?
Wheat flour, but this is buckwheat, and if this goes wrong, it's because I've never used it before. But I had a look, and apparently online it works okay. So a little bit more. So when you're making a roux, it's important that you cook out your flour. And by cooking it out, we mean that you don't want it to have a raw, floury taste. Right, so this is what it looks like once it's kind of cooked out. It gets a slightly sandy texture. If you wanted to make a darker sauce, you cook this longer. So you get white roux, blonde roux, brown roux, and kangaroo. They're all in Australia. So start with, you only use a couple of ladlefuls. And I normally take it off the heat for this first bit, just for the simple reason it makes it a little bit easier and it's not going to catch to the arse of the pan. Right, so we can put that in, that's fine. A little bit more. Again, take this off until it's stirred in. And well, you just stir it and you add all the liquid until you get a thick sauce. If it's too thick, you can add more cold milk. But if it's too thin, well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. So we'll come back once all this is added. Now if you add your sauce gradually enough, you shouldn't need a whisk, and you get a nice smooth sauce. If you want to add it all at once and get a whisk, by all means do so, but I wouldn't do it if you've got an aluminium pan, because what happens is, because aluminium is a very soft metal, you end up with a grey sauce. It's alright with stainless steel pans, or I dare say with non-stick, but non-stick you don't really want to use metal items inside those pans either. Nothing wrong with a wooden spoon, you can see that's pretty smooth. When you want to cook the sauce, don't boil it because you'll just burn it, but you want to cook the sauce for a decent length of time. Now I'm going to put these prawns in here frozen, because the glaze that they've got on them is a salty glaze. Right, and I'm going to turn the heat down, so you're pretty much just defrosting these now. I'm going to put the veg back into the sauce. Believe it or not, I'm using seafood sticks just for something different.
The ultimate snack.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So you can turn this off now. Any of the liquid from your kippers, gonna stir into there, and don't worry about the bones in the kippers, they're so fine. I mean, normally you wouldn't use kippers or herring in a fish pie.
Why wouldn't you? Too strong?
Yeah, it's an oily fish. You tend to want to use white fish. In fact, I'm not even bothering with the skin, and just flake it. Just make sure there's none of the fins get in, like that. Now a lot of people would put peas in their fish pie, by all means. Hard boiled or soft boiled eggs, by all means. So, don't want this fish to break up now, so I'm just going to give it a gentle stir. And a wee taste. A little bit more pepper required. I also like to add a bit of mustard into my fish pie, which I could have used that mustard greens that I've got outside, but
Yes, because you've been foraging, haven't you?
I have been foraging, yes. And you just decant that into your pie dish. Let that cool down. Pop it in the fridge overnight. Failed to mention, for cooling it down, to make sure you don't get a skin, some cling film over the top of your pie dish. Get the air out of it. Push the cling film down onto your white sauce, and that'll stop you getting a skin. So this is ready to just go in the fridge once it's cool, ever so slightly, and then jobs are good. And see you tomorrow with the potatoes. Dragon soup. Right, so once your mix is cooled, you want to boil some tatties and mash them. So boil them in salty water, give them a good mash, or even better through a potato ricer. You want a nice floury tatty for mash. And you want to put it back on the heat, and you want to kind of beat it and get some of the excess moisture out. Now I've done that. I'm going to put this off and keep stirring it to kind of cool it down a little bit, because you're going to be piping this onto the top and you don't want to burn your hands. So give it a good beat. Now you can mash tatties in a food processor, but they go like glue because the food processor breaks up the starches. It just gets a gloopy mess. You can, however, if you want to make it easy for yourself, is use a hand mixer, like a beater with the beater settings on, and just use them to break up the tatties. So, once you've got your tatties mashed, in with some butter, just to give it a bit of richness. If you want to put herbs in, you could put herbs in at this stage. Some chopped parsley or chopped chives. So we're going to beat this in until the butter's completely incorporated. So once that's all incorporated in, and it's important to use cold butter as well, because it's helping to cool these tatties down. Now I've got an awful lot of tatties in there, but I'm going to use what I don't need for making tatty scones.
Oh, so. Yes!
Wow. I think I've got an Irish girlfriend.
Love tatty scones.
Clearly. You never make that noise for me. So I've got an egg yolk, I'm going to plop it in there and give it a beat in. What it'll do is this will richen up the tatties and also help to set it and get a nice crust. Again, beat that in. You could add more than one if you wanted to. So that's incorporated, so I'm just going to get my piping bag all sorted out and we'll come back to that. Right, so your piping bag, you want to make a cut so that the nozzle will just go through, you don't want to have any gaps. And you want to turn it inside out over your hand, preferably the hand that you wouldn't write with, because this will be the hand that you use in a spoon. So I'm going to use a spoon. Now, I've no idea how this is going to work with hot food because this is for icing. So, what a way to find out. You spoon the tatties in like so, keeping the bag. Right, you want to keep the end clean, and you just want to do a wee test pipe into the pan, and then we shall pipe this on. So I'm going to start halfway along the middle, and you want to do a little shell, keeping an even pressure.
Cute.
As you can see, once you've got it on, you're just going to work your way around the pie. There we go, and if you really want to do something with anything left over, you could...
Write my name on it?
No. Just a wee bit in the middle. In fact, poke a wee hole in the middle here. Just get my finger in there. If you wet your finger, that makes it easier. Also makes it easier. Yep. And then you could make a wee blowhole around the pie like this. I've got the oven preheated to 200 Celsius for a non-fan, be 180 on a fan oven. If you wanted, you could put this in for 5 minutes, let it dry out the tatties, and then glaze it again with another bit of egg yolk or whatever. You ain't going to waste an egg because these are drying times. But anyway, middle of the oven, on a tray. That should take 30 to 40 minutes. So after about 45 minutes, turn the oven off. Remove your pie, put in your plates. You get a pan on, and we're going to do some peas with stir-fried mustard greens that I kindly got from a friend. go. If you want to be extra poxy, you could brush some melted butter over the top of that and make it be really nice and shiny, you know. So, pan on to medium heat. Small amount of rapeseed oil, or olive oil, or castor engine oil, just so. And 25 grams approximately of butter. Give that a melt. And with some frozen peas. Now these have been mixed with something already, but pea puree, some shit like that, and chilies, but that's okay. I'm going to remove the pea puree because I don't want that. It's a really good way of cooking peas, this. Nice and quick. So, I've got my Chinese mustard greens here. Just going to cut them up roughly, I've given them a wash. And then I'm going to turn up the temperature. If you want, you could put a lid on, or you could put a cartouche. Yeah, you just leave that, give it a wee stir from time to time. That should take 3 or 4 minutes. Oh. That's steamed away, nice and green. Turn that off. Got some bread that I had made, lovely pumpkin and sunflower seed bread. So, you'd have to use the wrong spoon. First, I'll season these peas. Gently season. Nice and simple. And dig into the pie.
Look, actually looks like pastry, doesn't it?
I don't know what pastry you've been eating, but yeah, insist. And make a bloody mess like that. Then just a couple of bits of loaf. There we go. Nice simple pie. Probably feed 3 or 4 folk, or 2 hungry bastards. Seafood pie, my way. Happy crappy cooking.